Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I am now a Pokemon Ultra Modern Sealed Investor. I'm going to give you a full audit of my inventory at this time, my investment portfolio at this time, whatever you want to call it. A little bit semantics, a little bit tongue-in-cheek on some of this, but not all of it. I will detail that. I will tease some upcoming videos. This will be a little bit of a series. I thought about going full YouTube Dan hour-long video. I'm gonna turn it into a few videos. But one thing I did want to tease quickly too. I've been big about showing what's coming. I bought a $54,000 collection, all graded, 59 slabs. I will show you that next week in next week's video. Full recount of how the deal went down, what was in it. So stay tuned for that next week. But yeah, as of right now, this is what I have. This is what I have in my inventory. Most spreadsheets that I have, I'm always talking about my spreadsheets, and I will do a little bit of editing. Expect a little bit of editing in this video and in next week's video. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it and see how it goes. But I will overlay some pictures periodically of some of my shelving, some of my pallets, where this inventory is actually stored. Hey, Dan, you're showing a spreadsheet. That could all be made up numbers. That could all just be, I mean, I could take pictures from the internet. I could make up pictures too, right? Like, just because at some point you have to believe me. If you don't, who cares? Doesn't really matter. I don't actually care that much, but this is what I have. I think transparency is a core foundational thing of this channel. I made the April Fool's video that kind of teased at people that talk about how big of an investment Pokemon is. And I'm one who says, like, I don't really invest in it. I just do retail in it. I buy it wholesale. I sell it retail, whatever it may be. I buy it at a percentage. I sell it at full market. But I will make a separate video maybe a month from now where a physical pallet gets built and gets wrapped of these components with no intent to look at it until like 2030. So all of this is what I have on hand as of today. This is not specifically. So some of these are for sale on my eBay. What I'll tend to do, I'll be all over the place in this video as I normally have. But what I normally do is when a new set comes out, I'll throw a listing up on eBay at like break even. Like, I'm fine breaking even lately. I mean, it used to be during 2021 when Battle Styles came out. I didn't keep much Battle Styles because I sold my whole allocation at $900 cases, $150 booster boxes. So how I navigate the market, what I do with this product is very dependent on my personal cash flow, what the market is doing. Like, it's dependent on so many factors that I can't say universally, I buy my whole allocation, I keep it all. What I've been doing lately, so I gave you a little glimpse of what I did for Battle Styles. I sold it all immediately. A lot of these, I sold them all immediately into the market because the market was just insane. A lot of it was done through Troll and Toad Evo. I will give you a little bit of a glimpse as to what I still have in Kentucky at Troll and Toad. Part of my investment portfolio, part of my inventory, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, a little bit of, I guess let me finish that thought and then I'll talk about like how the spreadsheet works. You've been looking at numbers that you have no idea what they mean. But yeah, down below, I think I have listings for Scarlet and Violet base. Quite cheap, but like break even or slight loss. Some people will look at my listings on eBay. They'll contact me and say, oh, hey, you're paying a 12% fee on eBay. Why don't you come off PayPal? One, I don't go off eBay. So don't ask me to go off eBay because I won't. I can't. Two, some of my listings are subsidized. So I'm not like a contracted seller. I don't have special rates with eBay yet. Maybe I will someday, hopefully. But I do occasionally, and other sellers do occasionally get subsidies. So say I have, I mean, let's just do a round number to be easy. Whatever the case may be, whatever case we're talking about, booster case, say I have it listed for 600. People would do the math and they would presume, oh, well, Dan's paying 12%. He's paying 72 in fees on that. There might be a subsidy there. There might be a hidden incentive. There are contracted sellers, Pete Football, Pete, things like that. A lot of those bigger sellers, they're going to be paying less. They're going to be paying less in shipping, paying less in fees. There are new seller incentives sometimes. It's like, hey, sell your first item, 0 fees. So sometimes you'll see somebody undercutting the market by 5 or 10%. Or like, why would they sell it so cheap? Why would they sell it at a loss? You don't know their fee structure. You don't know if they have an incentive. You don't know if they have a goal they have to meet. Maybe they sell some product at break even, slight loss, to hit that quarterly, monthly, annual number that they need to hit to build some incentive that they get on the back end, or whatever it may be. It's like, it's a number, it's there. If you want to buy from my eBay, they're there. If TCG Player is cheaper, if another seller on eBay is cheaper, buy it from them. Like, just don't DM me. Don't ask me to sell it off eBay because I don't do that. They are very worth the rates that they charge for all the things that they do for us. So yeah, 4.3. I do not have 4.3 boxes of Darkness Ablaze, nor do I have 4.3 cases of Darkness Ablaze. So on April 8th, I'm recording this on the 17th. You are seeing this on, let me check my calendar. You are seeing this on April 22nd. So some of these numbers have already changed. I made the videos over the past month, kind of teasing this video, teasing a series of investment videos, the index fund, the mutual fund that I build onto my palette of my portfolio that I will look at and revisit 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line and see how it's performing. I've teased those videos for a while, and in those videos, which is still applicable, I've said that I'm paying 80 to 95% on ultra modern sealed. I am still paying, as of today, 80 to 95% on ultra modern sealed. One caveat I will say, I've had some people get mad at me because they've reached out with like Lost Origin and they said, hey, TCG player is 177. I want 95% of that. And I have to remind them, one, I said 80 to 95%, and two, I am aware that some of these are on Pokemon Center. I am aware of the website called eBay. I am aware of the website called a bunch of different websites, my own distributors. Some people have reached out to me with sets that are available at distributors. I'm not going to go off the TCG player price on Obsidian Flames when I can get it for 90 to 95 bucks from my distributor. So 80 to 95% like needs further context. Reach out to me with what you have and I'll tell you what the context is. Like we're not going to go off your market value. We're going to go off like lowest available where I can buy it. That feels fairly obvious. A couple people got kind of mad at that. And like, Dan, why would you pay 95%? Why would you pay that on anything? So you'll see some of these. Evolving Skies is a little scary because it's quite high. I really am not like jonesing to get too much more. I would not pay 95% on that. I actually offered people, I guess what's 600 over 686? I just recently offered someone, that would be 87%. What's, the 3,500, I think I offered 3,500 on a case to multiple people. And I had one person seemed like they were going to take it and then they didn't end up doing it. I also did actually recently sell a case. So I sold a case, I sold a couple loose boxes as I said this video. So I offered 85% on Evolving Skies cases recently. I got one. I ended up selling one. I ended up selling some loose boxes of that to kind of get out of some of that in favor of getting into more of these. But yeah, like if I want it, if I feel like I don't have enough, and I recently found myself Battle Styles. I went to the market and I bought from like Sassy Auto on eBay. Shout out Ray, Shining Cards and Collectibles. He hit me with a link for like Game Nerds. Game Nerds had it at 100. They were going to charge me tax. They don't have a way to take tax exemption. So it was going to be like 108. I think I was able to buy from Sassy Auto on eBay at like 110 minus my 2% credit card rewards. So it worked out like the same, and it was just a place that I always buy and it's easier. So yeah, like if I'm going to go to the market and buy it full retail, absolutely I'll buy it 95% instead. 95% is less than 100%. But once I get my fill, once I'm kind of satisfied, and I'm getting close. I'm getting close to where I want to be. Once I build, I'm actually, it might be 2 pallets. I'll detail it in that further video. I'm going to be building like 2 investment pallets of Pokemon that will be wrapped up, sealed, stored away, climate controlled environment, and not thought about or looked at until 2030. Thought about and looked at only through looking at my investment portfolio, looking at the performance. I'll make a spreadsheet that tracks it all, whatever I put on there. And I'm going to talk at the end of this video about what I will be putting on there, what I'm buying today and why. So I'm buying a lot of this stuff at 80 to 95%. Once I get my fill, the lower the number goes. Once I've spent a ton of money, wait till you see my video next week on the $54,000 collection purchase. I just spent a lot of money. If someone hits me with 50 grand to 100 grand ultra modern sealed, through no fault of their own, through no change in the market, I will change my offer slightly because my cash flow is different today. My cash flow is limited by $54,000 relative to what it was 2 days ago. So yeah, a lot of these offers are contingent on what the market's doing. If some new comp just came in, if I just spent a ton of money and my buy list might temporarily shrink, or my volumes, my quantities, obviously if you've got $10 million in ultra modern sealed, which I don't think anyone watching this video does, but if you hit me like, oh, I've got 5 tractor trailers filled with Evolving Skies, I can't afford that. I don't have the capital for that. I mean, probably not even a single pallet of Evolving Skies is something that I could touch. But anyways, continuing on, 4.3. As I said 5 minutes ago, it is not 4.3 cases, not 4.3 boxes. It is 4 cases and 3 boxes. So it's the whole number is I guess before the decimal is how many sealed cases I have. After the decimal is how many boxes I have. Do the math, 4 times 6 plus 3, 27. So this extended number is just, and this was, I took it from Pokidata today before I recorded. You might look at these numbers, oh, TCG, eBay, like little low, little high, I don't care. It's close enough. I pulled it from Pokidata all in one place in like 2 minutes, so it was easy enough for me. I'm not actively selling most of this, but at some point, again, like eBay metrics needing to be hit, certain considerations, if I have someone selling me 8 cases of something at 80%, and then I can just sell some at 100 to 110% to just make a little margin there. Those are the kinds of things that I've always done over the years. One thing I've always done over the years, I've always sat on some amount of this. The reason that I have so little Sword and Shield, the reason that I have almost no Sun and Moon, almost no XY era, is because the prices outperform significantly what I ever thought they would. And I had debt, and I wanted to pay off my house, and I was quitting my job to go full time in this. So I wanted to get a big financial foundation. So many things change over time. Like, some people will say, oh, Dan, now he's investing. Now, I'm doing largely what I was doing before. I can just be maybe a little bit more diamond-handed by the virtue of like what my finances are today. And again, I know people love when coming in a future video, coming soon. It used to be a MetaZoo thing. Soon, trademarked. I will be making a video on my personal finances and how all this factors into that, how this capital makes sense to have where it is, the buckets that I fill, and where this exists in that hierarchy of what I fill. So you can see Evolving Skies quite light. I have 1 sealed case and 3 loose boxes. As of like 2 weeks ago, I want to say I had, well, this was as of April 8th. So yeah, probably as of 2 weeks ago. I'm recording this on the 17th. Only a little bit before this, I had 2 sealed cases and like 9 sealed boxes. I was able to sell a bunch. I did like part trade, so some of them were traded, some of them were sold towards getting a little bit more like Brilliant Stars and stuff. It just felt like a good value proposition. To at the time, maybe I only had 4 or 6 of these and I wanted more. I don't remember the exact numbers over time. But anyways, that's what that all is. You can see Brilliant Stars. I have disproportionately a fair bit more of that. I guess I can say anything that I want to say, and the numbers speak more than words a lot of times. Like anyone can talk, and anyone can throw affiliate links below. Go buy this. We're all going to get rich together like I memed on in April. But this is where this is where I'm actually walking. So all the talking aside, this is the walk that I'm walking. And yeah, that's just the numbers are the numbers. This is how much I have. A little bit more. This is what I have physically on hand. I have a little bit more than that. We will look at my Troll and Toad Evo a little bit. Scarlet and Violet, a fair bit more. Paldea Evolved, I cannot get right now through my distributor. So totality of all that stuff, like market prices, this is not what I paid. If I needed to come up with what I paid, I mean, I will have to come tax time, accrual basis, accounting. All these ones are easy because I bought them all recently. I mean, I bought a lot of these between 90 and 95 because that's what distributors are selling it for now, depending on how big you are. I mean, some people are paying less, some people are paying more. A lot of these, though, some amount I had from back in the day when they were 87 or 80. What was I paying? 82.50. I think 82.50 way back during XY era, sometimes as low as 79 on like evolutions. I will do a case study video on evolutions in the future. Every case that I bought, every case that I sold, boxes, all the stuff, recounting like what I bought, what I sold, and why. I think that will be an interesting video I've been wanting to make for quite some time. But yeah, this is what I have. Comes out to $92,000. I was hoping to be able to say 6 figures. I mean, I can. I'm going to show you very soon. And pictures should have been flashing on the screen, showing some of my palette, showing some of my my shelves that this stuff is on. I have a little bit of Japanese. I do not remember which case is which. So these are the release dates. Unfortunately, Japanese cases, some of them do say the set. They say like the S12A, SV1A, SV4A. I think SV1A. Oh man, I'm so bad with the Japanese sets. SV4A, that one should be Shiny Treasure. I want to say those are like $30 a box right now, depending on how you get them. I think I have them on my eBay for 45. Getting them in, shipping, like I'm making a few bucks a piece on that at 45 if they're selling, or maybe they're less than that, around 40. I don't remember exactly what they're listed at. But anyways, one of these is Shiny Treasure. One of these, I think the 4-case one is V-Star Universe. I forget what the other ones even are. I need to figure that out. But I think here in this spreadsheet alone, we're at 6 figures. Something in my title is going to be my six-figure Pokemon investment portfolio. A little bit tongue-in-cheek, as my April 1st video was, but partially not too. Like clearly, I was memeing on April 1st, April Fools, all that stuff. Then I did my own. I kind of continued that by recapping my April 1st video. This is showing what I actually have, though. Like, I actually do believe in Pokemon. I actually do believe in the ability for this stuff to give you good returns. Future videos will be more disclaimery, and they will show where else I have money, but I'm going to stick to Pokemon in this video. What am I buying today, though? And more of that is going to come out in my investment palette video, but this was a fun little thing that I wanted to show too. Value density. One thing that is very important, like if you live in a high-rise studio apartment or a one-bedroom apartment, whatever your situation is, everyone has limited space. My space is quite nowhere near unlimited. One big consideration, I want conditioned space. I want, if it's gonna be warehouse space, I don't want a cold, musty basement. I don't want a cold, musty attic, whatever it may be, or hot, humid attic, basement, wherever you're located. I want a conditioned space. I want some amount of humidity control. I want some amount of general climate control, temperatures. I want temperatures between 55 and 75 degrees, somewhere in there, held as tight as possible. The tighter the better. And I want humidity somewhere between 40 and 60%. I do not want Amazon 99. I don't want it raining in the room that my sealed Pokemon is in. I don't want 100%. And I certainly don't want 100% some days and then 0% some others. That is where I think sealed is a lot safer relative to like raw ungraded cards. Graded cards don't like that though. They will shrink, they will shrivel, they will do bad things in the cases if temperatures and humidity is widely swinging. I've seen it. But yeah, what this little spreadsheet was, I measured. Part of it is like, I'm going to be selling this stuff on my eBay. I used to fulfill it through Troll and Toad. I have to do it myself now. So I actually hid. I will re-hide it in a second so we can see more. I did length, width, height, weight, just so I could calculate like, okay, what size boxes do I need? What size box can I use for like, can I use any common supplies between booster cases and between ETB cases and between XYZ. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. Maybe I'll make a little cheat sheet guide. Maybe that'll be a paywall thing. I don't know. But at some point, I'll probably put that together. That's partially on this spreadsheet, but it's hidden because it's not in the context of this video. But yeah, item, TCG Classic Collection, that massive behemoth of a thing. It's $250 is what my cost is. Wholesale cost, I think retail's like $400 or whatever crazy amount it is. It's only... you do the volume on it, the cubic volume of it, cubic inches, 1,871 cubic inches for that dang thing. If you fill the whole palette, so what this is, it's the cubic volume in cubic inches. Well, all volume is cubic, right? Length, width, height. It is the volume in cubic inches. It is the cost in dollars. And some of them are estimated. They do like a Japanese special case. That's at $50 a box. Retail is lower than that. Sometimes they don't go that low. Sometimes they go lower than that. It varies. It's always going to vary. Japanese, so yeah, special case, special box, and then normal box, normal case I have right here. I guess they should be by each other. Oh yeah, they're sorted by value density, so that's why they're not by each other. But anyways, I'm not ever going to invest in $72. So you might be familiar. I don't think I have one handy. But yeah, $12. You get 4 packs. Sometimes you get a jumbo. Sometimes you get a figure. Sometimes you get pins, whatever it may be. I'm not going to invest in that, because they have 5 cents per cubic inch, which works out to, if you fill an entire pallet, what I determined for a pallet for this, my pallet dimensions were, let me unhide that again for a second. So a pallet is 48 by 40. Some pallets are a little bit, pallet dimensions vary. This is the most standard size pallet. That's the height of a pallet. So height of a pallet's 5.5 inches, 42.5 inches on top of that, stacked for 4 feet tall, all inclusive of the pallet. So that is what I used. So as it says right there, 48-inch total height to pack. So when I make my investment pallet, it will be limited to 81,600 cubic inches. As much product as I can physically fit on that pallet to 48 inches high. It will be wrapped. It will be stored deep in storage. Expect that video to come within the next 4 to 5 videos, within the next approximately a month. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not going to invest in collection boxes. I can only fit $4.5 grand, not even $4.5 grand in value on an entire pallet. I live in the woods. I live out in the boonies. I have a decent sized house, decent size. Like I have space, but I don't have that much space. Nobody's got, like, I don't have that kind of space. If you get down to the extreme end, Japanese special boxes, Japanese special cases. Obviously, the box, you're losing the cardboard that it's all combined in. The box alone is a little bit more value dense, but the case is more practical to actually stack. And you can't have a 4-foot high pallet stacked with individual Japanese special set boxes because the bottom ones will be crushed horribly. You can do that more feasibly with like booster cases on the bottom and then ETB cases, maybe some lighter stuff towards the top. I will take a picture. I will take a walk around video. I will show you exactly what goes on my investment pallet. It'll be a fun video. I'm not this much of a high roller. I don't plan on building a pallet. What I'm doing, so I'm either doing 1 to 2 pallets. I'm targeting approximately $50,000. So it might be 1 pallet with 50 grand. It might be 2 pallets with 25 grand each. I will share further details on who will own that, how much of that will be owned by who. I might be partnering a little bit with a family member on this little investment excursion or whatever you want to call it. So I might have other people that want to just outright buy it. Some of it will be like a little more between family. It's a little more like leeway, whatever. But yeah, booster bundle displays, Mew UPCs, Charizard UPCs. This is like the 151 UPC. It's just an interesting thing. I mean, the engineer in me, the spreadsheet guy in me, I have to put this together. It's something Dan has to do. I think that is all I'm going to cover. Oh yeah, my Troll and Toad Evo inventory. So I have further. So these go for about market price. It says right now, it says 111. I just sold one on Troll and Toad Evo for 150. I was the only one listed. I'm going to trickle more of these out. I'm going to actually trickle more of these out. I'm probably going to list right now like 36 of them at 150. If people want to buy them for that, again, I'm not forcing you to buy that from me on Troll and Toad at 150. If someone decides to buy that, that's on them. Like, go for it. They're there. But they're probably cheaper on TCG Player. They're probably cheaper on eBay if you want them there. But yeah, at some point, I probably will recall some of these. Some amount of these I do want on that investment palette specifically. Stay tuned for that video to see exactly what. But generally speaking, what am I buying today? I'm buying... Let me go full screen to cover this. I am buying anything that you have at 80 to 95%. One thing I will constantly say, I like to buy where I have a little bit of an edge. Why am I not doing Lorcana? I don't have wholesale access to it. Why am I bothering with One Piece? Because I have wholesale access to it. Why did I bother with MetaZoo? I had partner access to it, sub-wholesale. Why do I buy, like, why am I, in Modern Sealed is a little crazy with Pokemon because I'm buying it wholesale and then I can turn around that I can buy it for slightly cheaper through TikTok coupons, through all these different things. So it's an interesting dynamic, interesting scenario. But there are so many deals to be had out there, and you can create win-wins. Again, no one is a victim of me. No one has to sell to me. If you want to sell to me, the number will be there. I will email me. I will let you know what my offer is as a percentage, as whatever the number is. It will come to you. Feel free to take it or not take it. So there are more opportunities out there between these graded slab collections that I teased that I'll talk about next week. Where are we? Yeah. Between these graded slab collections at 80 to 95%, between Ultra Modern Sealed at 80 to 95%, like if I can spend all my cash flow at 80 to 95%, I mean, wholesale Pokemon is 60% of retail, though it's like 90 to 105% of market, depending on the product. If I can exhaust all my capital, all my cash flow at sub 100% of market, let alone some Pokemon investors out there that are paying 100% of market on eBay, on TCG Player, and then paying 10% sales tax on top of it. That is what all these videos are about. I want you to know like what's out there, what other people are doing. I want you to know a little bit what you're up against as an individual Pokemon investor. I know SM Pratt always says the sperm of the sperm whale. If he's that, like I'm even whatever smaller subdivision of that could be. I'm a small portion of the DNA inside of that. There are a lot bigger fish out there. A lot of the biggest fish will never make these videos. A lot of the pallets that are locked up, a lot of the tractor trailers full of stuff that is set aside is not going to be talked about. It's not in anyone's best interest to talk about this. I just like when others give transparency. I feel better knowing that I'm giving transparency about what I have, what I do, how much of my money is where my mouth is. And this is a place my mouth is like isn't even there. Like I'm not telling anyone to invest in it. Buy it if you want to buy it. Don't buy it if you don't want to buy it. There's risk, all that stuff, but we'll talk about that more in a future video. I've gotten to 25 minutes. I've done my deed as a Dan video. A lot of ranting and rambling and all over the place, but hopefully it was interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you've made it this far. Are you looking forward to that investment palette video? Are there any other videos you want to see along these lines? Are there any other considerations? One thing I do intend to do as well, it's on my long list of video topics. I am going to talk about opportunity cost a lot more in depth, as if I haven't talked about it enough. But I'm going to compare an individual who buys an Evolving Skies box at various points throughout time, and how much money they made, and how much money they could have made relative to that in different means, in different products in Pokemon, in different products in the financial space. So I'm going to do a little bit more on, like, just because this went X multiples, ooh, sorry, and this other product did not go X multiples, or it went Y multiples, where Y is less than X, doesn't mean inherently that it was better. Everyone's situation is different. And I will sign off with the saying that I always make. We are in the same arena, but we have very different rules, and we are playing very different games. With that, I will catch you all later.